Welcome to Anchorage, Alaska, where there's more wildlife than people, and the moose own the land. Not kidding. With a population of just over 291,000 people and a summer average temperature in the mid-50s to low 60s, it's not a place where most people will ever want to relocate to. But that didn't stop former NHL legend Peter Vaskie from spending his golden years of retirement in God's country. Now being coaxed out of retirement by his peers, social media, and hockey analysts alike, the idea of taking his once dominant skill set to an executive role in the game was just too good to pass up. So in 2019, Vaskie was named as the assistant general manager for the Arizona Coyotes, a team his idol Wayne Gretzky also happened to coach for.
The great one is stepping aside. Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players of all time, has resigned as coach and director of hockey operations for the Phoenix Coyotes, effective immediately. The NHL's all-time leading scorer held the job between 2005 and 2009 and racked up 143 wins, 161 losses, and 24 ties. His teams never qualified for the playoffs.
In fact, Vaskie saw this as an opportunity to do something his idol couldn't do: put on the suit and tie and build a winning franchise. You see, Vaskie's rookie season ended abruptly in an overtime loss in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Great One and the New York Rangers in 1998. Vaskie would end up overtaking his idol's all-time goals record with a cool 900 of them scored. Although Vaskie wouldn't come close to touching Gretzky's all-time points total of 2857, Vaskie took pride in his multiple Stanley Cup Championships and at least one record of Gretzky's broken. Vaskie stated in his NHL Hall of Fame speech, "I idolized Wayne growing up, playing in college, getting drafted. I'd always dreamed of being like him, and it truly was like a dream come true to be competing against him in 1998 for a chance at the Stanley Cup Finals. During my rookie season with Ottawa, it was a bittersweet loss that night in Madison Square Garden as an 18-year-old. But one thing I learned from that moment, and in general, during my rookie year, I could use that feeling as fire, as motivation to never feel that way again. So I came back and used it as fuel for the fire." That's exactly what competitors do. We respect each other, we idolize the greats, we want to be the next great. We don't let losing bury us. We rise up. Unsatisfied, Vaskie saw the window of opportunity open up within the Coyotes franchise and to stroke the ego a little bit. After all, retirement in Alaska, you may end up running out of things to do, and as a competitor like him, it really had to be tough not being able to get out and stroke that ego. Knowing full well of the Coyotes' identity crisis, multiple ownership changes, their history of relocation from Winnipeg, lack of attendance, bankruptcy issues, and the general up and down nature of the franchise, having playoff runs, missing playoff runs, Vaskie knew, even speaking with Gretzky in passing from time to time, this was no small undertaking. After the COVID-19 pandemic being thrown into the mix, this added even more trials and tribulations to a struggling franchise, all of which Vaskie was a part of, and he saw it firsthand. Vaskie knew it was time for a change, and one day the window of opportunity opened even wider. Not only the GM position opened up, but the team was up for being sold, citing a, quote, loss of interest from the ownership group and sunk costs. Vaskie knew that this was his moment, and he struck. Vaskie would end up tabbing his former teammates Oxy Reynolds and Jake Westwood, who were actually trade acquisitions to Ottawa from Phoenix in 2013, to help assist the then 33-year-old Vaskie at securing his last and final Stanley Cup Championship as part owners of the franchise. After all, Reynolds and Westwood had built a major airlining company together in their own retirement, properly named Ray West Airlines, providing primary destination traffic in the western United States, especially to, you guessed it, Alaska. However, the transition from Arizona to Anchorage was not an easy one. The fans in Arizona, who were extremely passionate about their Coyotes, were heartbroken, and Vaskie's reputation and name were being tarnished and dragged through the mud in the community. Furthermore, the NHLPA was not in favor of the move and cited Vaskie, Reynolds, and Westwood, all having personal and business ties back to Alaska, as a potential conflict of interest, to which the Arizona Coyotes players would end up walking out and finding new homes across the NHL. Vaskie then took to the public and spoke about the ongoing disputes with the NHL, the NHL Players Association, and rumored turmoil within the locker room. Quote, "I spoke with our players and have granted them all of their conditional release. As a hockey man, as a former player, I understand how hard this must be. This has not been an easy decision. We looked at everything. We looked at financials, we've looked at all the avenues, and are truly trying to make the best decision for this organization as a whole. I understand where the NHL, the Players Association, is coming from, but I assure you, our ownership group and people within this organization truly care about what's happening to the team, and we feel it is in our best interest for all parties to be satisfied in the process on moving to Anchorage. Regarding the roster moving forward, I have no further comment. The NHL would approve their all-time goals leader's decision to move from Arizona to Anchorage, as most are seeing it as a PR move of their own. They really don't want to scorn a NHL legend. But they approve this on one condition: no expansion draft, no additional means for league-wide support for Anchorage to fill out a roster. So Vaskie, Reynolds, and Westwood seemingly backed into a corner on building up this roster for this newly built franchise. Where would they go? To what ends would they travel to ensure that a competitive team lace up for the quickly approaching opening game of the 2021 NHL season? It won't be easy, but Vaskie said, "We have leads, and we'll use them. We'll find talented young hockey players who love the game, who want to start fresh, who want to be a part of something that we can really create here that will be really special." Alaskans are no strangers to the long haul. Like the Huskies in the Iditarod, it's going to be a long fight and a long road in building this team and this franchise. But we're in it, and we're ready to go. Let's mush. Welcome to the Alaska Huskies Franchise.